Welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be focusing on North Africa.
Okay.
We're going to Morocco specifically,
Interesting.
and we're going to be looking at their 2030 vision.
Oh, wow.
So this is
Ambitious.
a really interesting document that I came across.
Okay.
It's called Morocco in 2030, a vision of prosperity and global leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting to see how they are trying to blend their rich history and traditions
Yeah.
with some pretty cutting-edge ideas and technology and become a real leader
In Africa.
in Africa, but I think,
Globally, too, right?
yeah, globally as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is a vision that's not just about, like, economic growth.
yeah.
They're looking at everything
That's a very holistic.
from scientific breakthroughs and how to integrate AI,
Yeah.
even to, like,
Sports even.
yeah, like hosting the World Cup.
Yeah, the World Cup.
It's a really multifaceted strategy they've got going on over there.
Yeah, let's dive into some of those specifics. And I think a good place to start would be to look at the economic projections for Morocco.
So,
They're strategically located
oh, absolutely.
right at that crossroads.
Between Europe, Africa,
Yeah.
and the Middle East.
It's a very strategic location, and that's something they're looking to capitalize on
Mm-hmm.
to become a real economic powerhouse in the region.
Yeah, and they're already a hub for trade and investment. So
Right.
they're really building on that foundation.
Exactly. And one thing that they talk about in this vision is,
Well, we were talking about the Tangier Medport before.
oh yeah,
A massive project.
huge.
And by 2030, it's going to be even bigger.
Yeah.
And what I think is really interesting is how they're embracing renewable energy.
Yes.
The world is shifting towards sustainability.
Absolutely.
And Morocco is like right there
They're ahead of the curve.
investing heavily in solar and wind power.
Yeah, they're calling it their Green Energy Initiative.
I love that.
It's great branding, too.
Yeah.
And it's not just good for the planet. It's bringing in a ton of foreign investment,
Absolutely.
creating lots of jobs,
Yeah.
and they're also investing a lot.
In other industries, too.
Yeah.
Automotive manufacturing, agriculture, tech,
So it's not just about
not just GDP.
boosting GDP.
Right.
It's a much more strategic kind of approach.
Yeah, they want to be seen as a reliable and innovative partner on the world stage.
Yeah. And they really see these economic advancements as a key part of achieving that.
Makes sense.
Now, I'm kind of curious, how does this economic progress that they're envisioning tie into their goals for scientific advancement?
That's a great question.
They also want to become a hub for research and innovation.
Oh, they're going all in on that.
Yeah.
Investing a ton in building these world-class universities and research centers,
Okay.
attracting top talent from all over the globe.
Wow.
And what's really cool is they're already seeing breakthroughs in some key areas like
renewable energy technology.
specifically like solar panel efficiency,
Oh, wow.
which of course has massive implications for dealing with climate change.
Huge.
And then you think about water conservation,
Yeah, super important.
especially in a region that faces drought so often,
Yeah.
developing new techniques to conserve water.
Mm-hmm.
Even in biotechnology, they're coming up with these drought-resistant crop varieties.
It sounds like these scientific advancements are about more than just prestige for them.
Oh, for sure.
It's really about tackling some of these major global issues.
Yeah, finding solutions.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this success is stemming from their focus on STEM education.
Oh, interesting.
They're really nurturing this new generation of scientists and engineers,
That's smart.
which is going to further bolster their scientific reputation
Yeah.
and, equip them to really address these challenges in
Oh,
the
for sure.
future.
So they're looking way ahead.
Thinking long term.
Yeah. One thing that really stood out to me in this vision document was their focus on technology and specifically AI
Yeah, that's a big one.
and the way that they're integrating it into a whole bunch of different sectors.
Diverse sectors.
Yeah, and some of the applications I was reading about are pretty mind-blowing.
Oh, absolutely. Like one example that I think highlights their innovative approach is the use of AI in agriculture,
Okay.
what they're calling smart farming.
Smart farming, okay.
So imagine using AI to analyze satellite imagery to predict optimal planting times and water usage.
Wow.
It's incredible stuff. And Morocco is already doing this.
Really?
Yeah, some farmers have seen a 20% increase in crop yields,
That's huge.
which is addressing food security and helping to conserve these precious resources.
That's a brilliant use of AI,
It is.
finding these practical solutions.
Yeah.
Now, this might seem like kind of a jump, but the source material also talks about smart cities
Yes.
and how they're using AI in urban development.
Yeah, it's fascinating how they're transforming cities like Casablanca and Rabat into these tech hubs,
Okay.
using AI to optimize public transportation,
Hmm.
make waste management more efficient,
Okay.
even improve energy efficiency in buildings.
Right.
And they're not just implementing these technologies, they're becoming centers for AI innovation,
Oh, wow.
hosting global AI conferences, fostering a startup ecosystem through incubator programs.
So they're not just consumers of technology, they're becoming producers,
Exactly.
which is a smart move.
And it doesn't stop there. The Moroccan government is really prioritizing digital transformation across the board,
Okay.
building a reputation as a leader in cybersecurity and data management.
Which is essential in today's world.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Especially for attracting those international companies
Right.
who were looking for reliable and secure partners.
So they're really laying the groundwork for a future where technology is at the heart of their economy and society.
Yeah, it's a really forward-thinking approach.
Now, we've talked about economics, we've talked about technology, but what about their cultural goals?
Oh, that's a great point, because they haven't forgotten about that at all.
How does that fit into all of this?
Well, that's where their bid to host the FIFA World Cup in 2030 comes in.
Yeah,
After several attempts, they finally secured it.
huge accomplishment.
Huge. And it really speaks volumes about their growing global influence and their capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
They've invested heavily in modern stadiums,
No,
upgraded their transportation networks, and they're ready to show off their world-class hospitality.
that's awesome. And it's more than just a sporting event, right?
Oh, way
We're
more.
using it as a platform.
To share their unique culture with the world.
Exactly.
It's a chance to showcase that beautiful blend of Arab Amazi and African traditions.
Which makes Morocco so unique.
Exactly. And that kind of cultural exposure, it's undoubtedly going to boost tourism
For sure.
and further solidify their image as a premier travel destination
So it's a really clever way to leverage a global event.
to achieve those broader cultural and economic goals.
Now, throughout all of this, there's this underlying theme of sustainability.
Yes.
So how does that factor into their vision?
Well, that's where the National Strategy for Sustainable Development comes in.
Okay.
It's the guiding force behind all of their efforts.
So they're not just going for progress at any cost.
No, it's about balance.
Yeah.
They want to ensure a prosperous future for all Moroccans
Right.
while also protecting their natural resources.
So it's about creating a future that's not just prosperous, but also sustainable.
And equitable.
Yeah, and equitable for everyone.
That's the key.
That's really impressive. I'm curious to hear more about how they're putting all of this into action.
Oh, there are some really exciting examples of how this vision is coming to life.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
One area where they're really making strides is in infrastructure,
Okay.
and particularly with a focus on connectivity.
Okay.
They're investing heavily in expanding their high-speed rail network,
Oh, wow.
linking major cities,
Hmm.
facilitating trade and tourism.
Okay.
And they've also launched these ambitious projects to improve internet access,
Gotcha.
especially in rural areas.
Yeah, that's important.
It's crucial,
Yeah.
right? You got to bridge that digital divide
Right.
and promote those economic opportunities for everyone.
Yeah, make sure everybody's got a chance to benefit.
Exactly.
So it's not just about these grand visions. It's about actually turning that into concrete stuff that helps people on a daily basis.
Yeah, day-to-day life, that's what matters.
Now, what about their social development goals?
Oh, that's a huge part of it.
How are they ensuring that this progress is inclusive?
Well, social inclusion is like a key pillar
Okay.
of their whole national strategy for sustainable development.
Makes sense.
And they're implementing programs
Okay.
to improve access to education and healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
particularly for women
Okay.
and marginalized communities.
That's great.
One initiative that I think is worth highlighting is the 10,000 Engineers program,
10,000 engineers. Okay.
which aims to train this new generation of engineers
Oh, wow.
from underprivileged backgrounds.
So giving them the skills they need to participate.
Exactly, to contribute to Morocco's technological advancement.
That's a great example of investing in human capital
It is.
and creating opportunities for social mobility.
Yeah, empowering people.
And they're also really big on fostering entrepreneurship.
Already huge. They've created this supportive ecosystem for startups,
Okay.
providing funding opportunities,
Yeah.
mentorship programs,
Nice.
even tax breaks for new businesses.
So they're really trying to incentivize people to start these businesses.
They really understand that a thriving startup scene is crucial for driving innovation.
Yeah, and it seems to be working.
Oh, it's paying off big time.
Yeah.
Surge in startups in recent years, particularly in fintech, e-commerce, renewable energy.
All the hot sectors.
And they're even attracting those international investors who see Morocco as this promising hub
Yeah, a place to be.
for innovation and entrepreneurship.
Now, I want to shift gears a bit and talk about Morocco on the global stage.
Okay.
We've talked about their economic ambitions,
Mhm.
their technological goals,
Yeah,
but how are they approaching things from a geopolitical perspective?
that's a great question. And this is where the idea of South-South cooperation comes in.
Okay.
And it essentially refers to collaboration and knowledge sharing between developing countries
Okay.
to promote mutual growth and self-reliance.
So working together.
Exactly. And Morocco has been a champion of this approach,
Interesting.
actively engaging with other African nations
Ah,
and developing countries around the world,
okay.
sharing their expertise in things like renewable energy,
Mhm.
sustainable agriculture, digital transformation.
So they're not just focused on their own advancement.
No, they want to bring others along with them.
It's a much more collaborative approach.
It is, and I think that's a key aspect of becoming a global leader.
Yeah, being a leader isn't just about what you accomplish yourself.
It's about empowering others.
Right, and contributing to solutions for these global challenges that we all face.
Exactly. Morocco's demonstrating that leadership not just through their own achievements,
Mhm.
but also through their willingness to share knowledge
Right.
and foster those partnerships.
For mutual benefit.
Exactly. Everyone wins.
It's inspiring to see that.
It is.
Now, some critics might argue
Sure.
that Morocco's focus on these mega projects like the World Cup or the high-speed rail
This big flashy stuff.
might divert resources from essential social programs.
That's a valid concern.
How would you address that?
Well, it's crucial to ensure that economic development
Yeah,
doesn't come at the expense of social well-being.
right.
But in Morocco's case,
Mm-hmm.
it's not an either situation.
Okay.
They're pursuing a balanced approach,
Okay.
investing in both infrastructure and social programs.
Makes sense.
They get it.
Yeah.
A strong economy
Yeah.
is essential
To fund those.
to fund those social initiatives,
Right.
to create opportunities for everyone.
So it's about creating a cycle where economic growth fuels social progress.
And vice versa.
Yeah, they both kind of feed off each other.
Exactly. And you see this reflected in their national budget.
Okay.
They're allocating significant resources to infrastructure development,
Yeah.
but also to social sectors like education,
Okay.
healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
social safety nets.
So they're trying to make sure that everybody benefits.
That's the goal.
It's not just growth for growth's sake.
No, it's
Yeah.
about creating a more just and equitable society
Where everyone has a chance.
to thrive.
Now, we've talked a lot about their vision,
Their strategies?
their accomplishments,
Yeah.
but I'm curious about the potential challenges.
Right.
What obstacles do you see on their path to realizing this vision?
Well, every ambitious undertaking
Right.
comes with its share of challenges,
Of course.
and Morocco's journey is no exception.
What do you see as some of those potential obstacles?
One that stands out is youth unemployment.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It's a tough one.
A lot of countries are dealing with that.
Absolutely, and despite all the economic progress they've made,
Right.
it's still a persistent challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I think those investments they're making in education,
Mm-hmm.
particularly in vocational training and entrepreneurship programs, are going to be so important.
Giving people those practical skills.
Exactly. Equipping young people with the skills they need to create their own opportunities.
Right.
Turn that challenge into an engine for innovation and job creation.
Yeah. I mean, that's a smart approach.
It is.
Rather than just trying to create jobs, you're giving people the tools to create their own jobs.
Exactly. Empower them to be self-sufficient.
What other hurdles do you see?
Well, water scarcity is a big one.
Yeah, that's a major issue in that part of the world.
In a lot of parts of the world, actually.
Sure.
And Morocco is already taking steps to address it.
Like what kinds of things?
Investing in desalination plants,
Okay.
water-efficient irrigation techniques.
So trying to make the most of the water they have.
Exactly. And promoting sustainable water management practices, especially in agriculture.
Right, because that uses up a lot of water.
A huge amount.
So it sounds like they're tackling this issue on multiple fronts.
They are.
From technology to education.
It's a comprehensive approach.
They recognize that it's not just an environmental issue.
It's an economic issue.
Right.
A social issue.
It all ties back to those sustainable development goals.
Absolutely. It's all interconnected.
Now, we've talked about a lot of the internal factors,
Mm-hmm.
but what about the external landscape?
Oh, that's crucial too.
How might global
It's
trends,
geopolitical shifts.
all that stuff impact their progress?
Well, the world is a volatile place,
Yeah, things change quickly.
and Morocco has to be ready to adapt.
What are some of the things they need to be prepared for?
For example, Fluctuations in global commodity prices,
Okay.
especially for things like phosphates,
Right.
agricultural
Those
products.
are some of their key exports.
Exactly. So those price swings can really impact their economic growth.
So they need to have some kind of backup plan.
Yeah, diversification is key,
Right.
not putting all their eggs in one basket.
So they're already taking steps to diversify their economy,
They're
moving beyond those traditional industries.
investing in things like renewable energy,
Cool.
tourism,
Mm-hmm.
technology.
So spreading the risk a little bit.
Exactly. Creating that economic resilience.
Now, the source material talks about Morocco's ambition to become a global leader.
Not just in Africa,
Yeah, on a global scale.
a big goal.
Is that realistic?
It's definitely ambitious,
Yeah.
and it's going to take a lot of sustained effort
Yeah.
and adaptability.
But they've got a pretty good track record so far.
They do.
You know, they're punching above their weight in a lot of areas.
I mean, look at them. They're a leader in renewable energy,
Yeah.
a hub for automotive manufacturing,
Right.
a pioneer in South-South development cooperation.
It's a pretty impressive list.
They're not just talking the talk.
They're walking the work.
They're getting things done.
So it's not just wishful thinking.
No, we've got a foundation to build on.
Of course, to become a true global leader, it takes more than just economic strength
Oh,
or
absolutely.
technological advancements.
You need that soft power.
Right. Cultural influence.
The ability to shape global conversations.
And that's where their cultural heritage comes in.
Exactly. And their strategic location.
Right. At the crossroads of everything.
And their proactive diplomacy.
They're really using all of their assets
Strategically,
to craft a narrative for themselves.
a narrative that
With
resonates,
those international partners.
a bridge between cultures and continents.
And it seems to be working.
It is. People are taking notice.
They're gaining recognition for their stability
Their commitment to sustainable development
and their role as a voice of moderation.
in a world that desperately needs it.
So while there are challenges ahead,
There always are.
they seem well equipped to handle them.
I think, so their vision for 2030 isn't a guarantee.
Right?
It's a roadmap,
Yeah.
a testament to their ambition
And a source of inspiration.
for other nations.
Well, this has been a fascinating look at Morocco's vision.
It really has.
It's inspiring to see a nation with such a bold vision for the future.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts for our listeners?
I would say keep an eye on Morocco,
Yeah.
not just for the economic progress
Right.
or the technological advancement,
The stuff we talked about today.
but for their potential to inspire.
I like that.
They're showing the world that you can embrace your heritage
Yeah.
while striving for a modern.
Sustainable future.
Exactly.
It's a powerful message.
And they're proving that progress is possible when you combine vision with action,
Innovation with tradition.
ambition with a commitment to the well-being of your people.
That's a great takeaway.
It is.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Morocco's vision for 2030.
My pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring
Keep questioning.
and keep believing in the power of human ingenuity to shape a better world.